Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this video's I did a return trip to Brackley Antique Cellar in Brackley, Northamptonshire, and so it is the largest antique centre in the East Midlands, and when I went the first time I couldn't do everything, so this time I had a plan which you will hear about. I didn't buy very much this time. I could have, but I was good. And this is only going to be part one. I think part two is going to be a bit smaller than part one, but I'm going away for a few days, so part two will be a little while off yet. So I've stopped where I am as well because I'm going away for a few days. But anyway, let's get on with the video. So I'm here at the mighty Brackley Antique Centre, the biggest antique centre in the East Midlands, and yeah, so last time I was here I didn't get everything done. So what I have a plan. Yeah, I have a plan. I've actually planned something. I'm going to do the bits that I didn't do last time, and then I'm going to do the bits that I have the most glass in. I think that have quite a bit of turnover. So that's my plan, because I know I can't do it all. I thought I'd do something I didn't do last time because it's a bit awkward to find the first time you come here. So yeah, this is Waitrose, and you can park in the car park for 2.5 hours. You can see just, if I can get my finger in, just there, there's a sign that says Brackley Antique Cellar, and then if you come down here, there's another sign just here, and then yeah, we go down here, just down these stairs, and you can see there is another sign. Is. Yep, so it really is a cellar. So this is the bit that I didn't do last time, this aisle here. See, it goes, each side goes quite a way, and yeah, and the cafe is back here. So yeah, they've got a cafe, and I have used it. In fact, I've used it pretty much every time I've come. So yeah, that's a good place. And let's get on. What's going on here? Look at these little crystal snowflake. These look they're very sharply cut. They're a bit like Irish Regency Irish glass, but they're not. But they're probably Bohemian. Very nice. Else, there's not much else here apart from this. This looks very Caithness with a colour streak in it. See if I can reach in and see what the label says. Can I get there? So this is a bit awkward. But look at that there. It says Caithness. Oh, how right can you be? Yeah. So yeah, it might have been Stuart though, but the coloured streak, I don't think I've ever seen them do acid etching and the coloured streak, but they do coloured streaks and they do acid etching. So yeah, and Venetian Turner crystal candlestick. That is weird. Yep, don't know it. Anything else here? If I can extract myself from this corner, you can see me extract myself from there. Little baby shams, yellow ones. I can't remember yellow ones. I think that might mean that they're 70s. They different colours mean different times, and I do love obscure little corners. So yeah, one of my subscribers, David Salby, told me about this previously, which is why I thought it was 70s. So I thought I would look it up again and go through it, because I knew the first ones were white. Here we are. And I found two websites that's dating them. There's probably more, but anyway, if it's white, it's from the 1950s. Okay, if it's yellow and the legs are forward, it does a weird thing there. You can see the legs are forward on these pictures. That means it's 1960s. Then if it's yellow, and it seems to be a sort of like a more orangey yellow, but this is yellowy yellow, and those ones were, with the legs coming back like this, like it's leaping, that means it's 1970s. And then if it's a bit browner and it looks more like Bambi-like, then it's 1980s. And then it jumps across to some limited edition ones in here as well. The other site's got less in it, so it doesn't cover the 80s. So this one's not in it. But anyway, yeah, it's one of those little tiny rabbit holes with not too many parts in it. But yeah, interesting that people collect these. And there must be different variations, because this one here is a bit different to the one that I was looking at. So the deer looks very like this, but the ribbon on its neck is a slight variation, and it didn't have Babycham written on the bottom of the glass. So there we go. Yeah, this is interesting. What is that? It's pressed. So unusual glass tankard it is. It's got, I don't want to turn it because I don't want anything to fall off. I'm only using one hand here. But it's got like a ram's head. I'll push it back so that dish is not quite so dependent. There we go. Yep, that's it for down here. Oh no, I've got a bit of Gloria Gaynor playing in the background. I need to watch out for that, because I'll get a copyright strike for background music. What have we got here? Yeah, they're not quality, so don't know. Those look bohemian in the back. These do too. Don't know these. Are they marked? No. And they're very ordinary looking. Oh, this is cool. What else have I got? Look at that. Look at that. What price has he got on that? £50. That is quite a nice bowl. Yeah. Oh. These look like a Whitefriars pattern. Not certain, but they do look like one. Yeah, I might try and look those up. What's he say on here? Set of 4 tumblers, £15, but I will try and find those. We're looking at the whitefriarsglass.com website at the 1957 Whitefriars catalogue. And yeah, so this is the pattern we were looking at. It's got this double crisscross like this with a little upright ellipse in it, and then it's got like 3 little bits at the top, little fan of 3 cuts at the top. So this is the pattern. This is the only example of this pattern in the catalogues that I can find, and it's in 1957. Yeah, so you might be asking yourself, how did this genius know this? You know, how did he know? You know, how can he look at that and this obscure pattern on this page here, out of all of these? I click back, out of all of these catalogues, and the answer is there is an answer to that. Yeah, I own one. This is my website, and yeah, there is that pattern again on here. And this is where my little bit of comes in. This doesn't have that, but this is a very distinctive pattern. This double, like diaper cutting, I suppose it is, with this ellipse, upright ellipse. And now I've seen it confirmed as a pattern with 3 little cuts at the top. So yeah. Anyway, we will. I don't think it's very common, because well, one, it's only in the 1957 catalogue. So, and I know that this decanter is very rare. Even I only knew it was White Friars because it's the shape is an M60 shape. But anyway, so yeah, quite a rare thing. Whether it's worth more than £15 or not, yeah, but quite a rare thing. And then you've got your usual Bohemian hot glasses. These ones look like they're Moser or somebody like that with this, yeah, gold band. But yeah, let me stop it for a minute so I don't get copyright. In the same area, they've got a bunch of jugs. None of them look particularly. They've got a Victorian one here. See that one? Yeah. There's one in the back there. That looks like a pre-war one. This one looks Bohemian. This is the interesting one. So this is press glass, but look at this handle. So they were only pressing the body and not the handle. That makes it early. So this is like 1850s, 1860s. What price has he got on it? £12. That is a good price. I've seen them. I've seen this kind up to about 20 quid. So look at the lovely handle with the little piggy tail on it. Yeah, that's a really old school way of doing the handles. Still, and it's put top to bottom. They were done pre 1870s. So yeah, so this is nice because it's at the start of mass-produced press glass in the UK. The book I'm looking at here is Miller's Popular Glass of the 19th and 20th Centuries by Raymond Notley, and the section I'm looking at is early press glass, of course. And yeah, so this jug is not exactly the same pattern, but it's this, you know, it's out of the same stable. It's this style of jug. The date he's got on here is 1845, and he says $64. Why it's in dollars, I don't know. But anyway, and it just says early English, and it's got the same piggy tail. $64, I think. So you're talking 50 quid. I think 50 quid's a bit high, but yeah, £12 is too cheap. So yeah, rush down to Brackley, buy that jug, somebody, because that is a good jug. Nice handle, nice early pre-1850s style. I mean, they kind of stopped doing this after. For some things they carried on doing, like custard glasses and things, but yeah, it pretty much died out around then. So anyway, there we go. There's not much glass in this stall, but there's a little Chance Brothers plate here. They say it's 1960s. We can try and find that. This book is 20th Century British Glass by Charles Hajdamach, and yeah, so I haven't been able to find a direct match for it. This is the one that it's closest to. It's got the frilly edge, it's got the flowers in 3 parts. They've got a similar look to them, apart from the fact that these are multicoloured, and yeah, that one was just like yellow and green. But if you look at the other flowered ones, stylistically, you know, not the same. You know, this is just one big sprig off to one side, dotted around. This is a bit more stylistically done, black and white. So yeah, this is what it's close to. So, and they were right. It's 1960s. If this is the look it has, I think this is what we're going with, and I think they're right. There's no name here for it because obviously he's given the pattern names for these, but yeah, that pattern's not in here, so that's a bit sad, but it is what it is. There's a funny little mouse. He's quite cute, looking up, but yeah. Art glass paperweight, they don't know either. I don't know. I'm looking at a website called glasscatalog.com, and yeah, in the section for home guard, there's this little mouse here, which looks like, it is only a line drawing, so it might not look anything like that in real life, but the proportions and the way the head is and the overall look of it looks like the mouse we were looking at. So Yeah, it might be that mouse. Anyway, it says 1975. Might be, might not be. This is not a great website really, because you can't just download the whole catalogue and just flick through it, but it is what it is. It's a bit more, looks a bit Empoli musical. Actually, if you want to grow hyacinth bulbs, just in any glass thing, £6 is very cheap. They were quite expensive at one time just for any of them. And what else is over here? No, nothing exciting. Okay. I almost didn't follow my own golden rule and look down. And there's these. So they're not fantastic glasses or anything, but they're still in the box. Still in the box. Vintage glasses set, £8. Yeah. And the box has a name on the front. Let's see if I can show you that without dropping the whole thing. Chesterfield Golden Yacht. I'm going to look that up. I might not get anywhere, but I'm going to look it up. So I searched for Chesterfield Golden Yacht, and this appeared. It's not the same box, okay? I had a look. The marks on it are different, so it's a different, slightly differently dirty box. And it's £8.75 in here. It's sold. Says it's sold out, and that would be plus postage, so it's probably cost well north of a tenner to somebody. So £8 that they were selling it for looks like a decent price. So what did I find out about Chesterfield Golden Yacht? It doesn't tell me anything. It just says vintage 1960s, so they probably guessed. It's probably right, but it was a guess. So I did another search for Chesterfield glass manufacturer, and what I found was that Dima were based in Chesterfield, and Dima mass produced glasses. When I was looking at stuff for them, I found they were producing 100 million glasses a year in 1985, so that gives you an idea of the kind of manufacturer they were. However, the sad news is I found this. So collapse of glass firms, calls time on dimple and pint jugs, 2001. So they're gone, and they went about the same time as Ravenhead, it looks like, and they've been in existence for 150 years at that point. Yeah, very sad. I know it's mass produced stuff, but it's still British manufacturing, and it's still good. Look at this. I didn't read this bit. The glass pipe was introduced as a replacement for the leather and pewter jar after the glass tax repealed in 1845. So yeah, if you want to know about the glass tax, go and look at my video on the glass excise tax. So yeah, that's interesting. So anyway, with that said, we'll move on. More common stuff here. This is these are Dima. I know they are. I've seen the shape before, with a golden rim, but with different patterns on. I've not seen them with swans on before, but it's the same glasses. These are French, Luminarc. Yeah, so these will all be kind of like from the 50s and 60s. And then you've got an Empoli brandy goblet. You're gonna drink a lot with that one. There's not four there. That's mirrors, but yeah. Interesting, because it's kind of like dating things that are in here. When you're sort of like really going sort of like 50s, 60s, 70s. I think these are more 70s. These might be a bit earlier. That could be anything post-war. A few things here. I think this is Davidson's with these little front things on. This is the Davidson's 1956 catalogue. I downloaded it through 20th Century Glass website, and yeah, so I started in the catalogues from the beginning, which was in the 1920s, because I thought this pattern was earlier, and the first time it appears is 1956, and then it reappears in 1968. So yeah, it looks kind of Victorian, this little thing. I didn't find anything that's an exact match, but yeah, this pattern here is close enough, I think, to say, yeah, I think it's Davison, because I don't think it's in any of the other catalogues. So yeah, it's later than I thought. Just in my brain it was earlier, but in reality it's not. Catalogues win. This is interesting. It's George the 5th, sorry, May 12th, 1937, for the coronation. Can't see it properly. The funny thing about it is that this is probably rarer than the Edward the 7th, who wasn't coronated. They knew Edward the 7th was going to be king for a long time before, so all the manufacturers generated loads of his souvenirs, and then he abdicated, and then they were going to do George the 5th quite quickly, and yeah, so they didn't make as much stuff for him. So rarer than Edward the 7th, theoretically anyway. As an overall picture, that's the way it works. And then I saw this down here. Look at this monster thing. Look at this. This is a monster. Let's have a pick up. Oh, it's heavy. It's got a broken pontle. It's cool though. It's just a looking thing. Hand blown, because it's got a broken pontle. Might be Chinese, don't know. But yeah, it's cool because it's so huge and red. So I've come this far so far. Got this far to go, and I'm at a junction, and I don't think I've done this bit. And over here, I'm gonna look at this here. I've got all this. I don't remember this from last time, so yeah. Let's work our way through it. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, this looks like a bit like one of the Waterford or Thomas Webb patterns. Yeah, it's all kind of very similar type patterns. This looks like it's a bit Stuart. Oh, it's got, hang on, what did I say? Stuart, yeah. I've seen this as a pattern. Yeah, it's marked. There you go. It's one of their plainer sort of like cut ones. So I had a poke through the catalogues, Stuart Crystal catalogues that I've downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Facebook group. And yeah, so this is the 1938 catalogue that I'm looking at now. And yeah, this is the closest pattern. It's not the same. This is the same, but what's around it isn't the same. And also these glasses are very different. So the next one in line would be 1964. So open up 1964, and here is the pattern, but it's still not the same. The way the stems are cut is different, and if you look in here, it's called bow, by the way. There's no hot glass. So the glass we were looking at were hot glasses, and there isn't one. So jump forward again. Here it is again, bow. 1974 or 72, sorry. And when you look at bow now, there is a hot glass. So how long they made hot glasses for, I don't know, but it's obviously a later thing. It's probably from the 70s. So yeah, that dates those glasses, I think, to the 70s. Yeah, it's not an exciting pattern. I do see it around from time to time. Clearly, if they were making it in the 60s, I imagine it's a post-war one, and they just carried on making it until they shut. What's there? These are nice. Look at them, they're cute. So they're very nice ones. They've got. These look very Edwardian. So they were making these from... Oh, he's got... Here we go, look at this. Oh, I'm genius. Not really, but anyway. Yeah, they look very Edwardian, so I'm agreeing with what he said there. They're quite nice ones for this type of just needle etched work. That's quite nice. These are nice as well. Oh, they're signed. I have to read it from Stephen Rickyard, 1968. It says on it, and he's done this work. How many are there? There's 5, and they look all different. So they are very nice. I don't know who would have made the bases, but or the blanks as they call them. But yeah, they're very nice, and the fact that they're all signed 1968 as well. That's fantastic. What price has he gone? £6. Yeah, no, I'm not going there. But yeah, they seem too cheap for such nice things. Although they're not full wine glass sized, which doesn't help. So it's good old collectorsweekly.com web site to the rescue here. Someone here has asked about Stephen Rickyard. They have a glass and wanting to know who he is. And someone's responded. Someone called Tall Cakes 2 years ago. You might try and... Stephen Leslie Rickyard, 2017 to 2014. So he had a good long life there. Was a sculptor, glass engraver, and in his later years, wood turner. He exhibited sculptures at the Royal Academy Summer Expositions, periodic in 1940, 1965, including portraits and larger scale figures. So yeah. He's a proper artist, and you can tell from the work it's very nicely done. And how can I put this? It looks right. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like something an amateur's done. No matter how nicely they've graded it, it looks like something done by an artist. So, yeah, I rate those glasses. They were nice. You've got a Medina little wave bowl just there. Can you see that? It says this is Allen Bay. I don't really know the Allen Bay stuff. Yeah, there's nothing else that's... That would be Stuart Crystal Cascade. These will be little Victorian ones with the ferns, late sort of like 1780s, 1790s, something like that. Okay, I'm halting it at that point because I found some nice fern cluster glasses, but I was telling you completely the wrong century. I was saying 1780s and 70s. What I meant to say was 1880s and 1890s. Those are the dates that I meant to say. So sorry about that. And here's that same pattern that we saw before. So this is the same pattern that we saw before, but the blank that it's on is a Stratford pattern blank. 850. So yeah, I reckon this would be as a pattern and shape, this will be pre-war, I think. I'm not guaranteeing that, but we can look it up. And what else is here? Little cluster glasses. These look Edwardian as well. Oh, this is a nice one. So this one, yeah, this is early Victorian, so this is more like 150 years old. And I think I pointed out something earlier. Little piggy tail, nice early style. Put a jug handle on. So, and oh look, it's that Stuart pattern again, just with that basic crisscross. And what are these? This is a Dartington. Dartington question mark. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't recognise them. I will double check though. I will double check. This book is Dartington Glass, The First 20 Years by Linda and Stuart Smithson. And I could see why they would say it was, or thought it might be Dartington, is because of these little bowls here, it's similar, not the same. And there are other things in here that are probably slightly less similar to this, but similar to this as well. So I can understand why they might think it's Dartington, and why I thought it's potentially that it's something I've missed in the book, but I can't find it here. This is only the first 20 years though, so if it was later than I think 87, then it might still be Dartington. I think I need to get another book. So while I'm down on the ground, these are Murano. Oh, £8, that's a decent price. What's he got on this? £14. I think that's probably Murano. I'm not 100% certain. That looks like it's Kripska. Look at the way the bases goes into it. I will try and find that in the catalogue. We're looking at a page of the Kripska Glassworks 1999 catalogue, downloaded from the Czech Glass Guide. And yeah, so this is the one here that we were looking at, although it was in red, but it is this. I'm pretty happy that it is. Same shapes. And it's giving you a pattern number here, so it's this one here then, which is 127-5-14. Yeah. So yeah, 1999. The other catalogue I got is from the 70s, so, and it's not in there. So yeah, I can't really, it might be 70s, it might be 80s, or it might be 90s. But yeah, it's definitely Kripska. Yeah, I don't recognise any of these other things back here. Or any of these, I'm not really. Oh, that one's got a label on it that I can't. Edinburgh crystal. So they're Edinburgh crystal, those little animals back there. Yeah. And what's in here? Got a bit of Medina, and I don't know. This looks like it's Wedgwood, but I'm not certain. This is Romanian, from the Padua Niagara glass makers. So we're looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and they have an ashtray exactly the same like the one we saw just now. Theirs has got made in Romania. Romania with a spelling before 1975, so that's gives it a nice, pushes the date out well into vintage times. And actually you can see the date, the label close up here, made in Romania. Now the reason I'm picking this bit out specifically is because I frequently see this type of ashtray labelled as Murano, and I just wanted to highlight that these are not Murano, they are Romanian. Doesn't say what works it's from, but anyway, that's what it is. And that one is, that's Wedgwood. These two little things here are Wedgwood. Has he got them? Oh yeah, yeah, he's got written on them. And that's interesting, it's got a label. The yellow thing in the back, I've not seen that before. It's Costa Boda. Yeah, let's stop a second. So I've stood up now. We've got a bunch of paperweights, Medina ones, and the little wave bowls. You can see there's a small one in the back just there, a slightly bigger one, and then yeah, we have on its own the Medina Seahorse. So we know we're in an antique centre. And there's some other glass up here that Mariro, handmade in Empoli, Florence. Mariro. That's slightly, yeah, It's Empoli. It's quite cute though. Looks reasonable quality for Empoli. It's not just punched out of a machine. And then you've got these are all Medina. All of these in the back and around here, apart from this one in the middle and the front. Yeah, I don't know enough about Medina. I didn't buy I should have bought the book when it came out, but I didn't. Got some more Stuart crystal here. Sorry, I just dropped the thing. And it's that pattern again. Dun, dun, dun. And these are hot glasses. This is a mid-19th century Books bottle, German wine bottle. Yeah, that's quite a nice thing. This book is The Decanter, an Illustrated History of Glass from 1650 by Andy McConnell. And there is the bottle we were looking at. And I think I was slightly pronouncing the name. It's a box bottle, and it is from the mid-19th century. The dates he's given here are, for these other ones, are 1845. I think there's one that's 1865, so that gives you roughly date for this bottle here. So there you go. This one, yeah, this is a Stuart crystal Glengarry pattern. Yeah, what else is here? We are looking at the 1964 Stuart crystal catalogue that I've downloaded from the Stuart crystal Facebook group, and this is the Glengarry pattern here. You can see it's got it's like a noughts and crosses board in the middle, one uptick, and there is the decanter that we were looking at. That's the shape. So here we go. This is a Glengarry. We're looking at a page from the 1971 Acida catalogue that I downloaded from the Bergdaler Glasdeniska museum website. And yeah, so it was the little vase that was next to the Glengarry decanter, and we see so many, well, I see so many of them, and they kind of like flash by, and I occasionally point at them and go, Acida, it's Acida, but I didn't this time, and I thought I actually do have a reference for it that I found, and I should show you. So here it is, 1971 catalogue, and I think the one we were looking at looks more like about this proportion, so it must be this size. Can't read that number. It's a 547-250-300. Yeah, snappy name there. So anyway, that's my my little proof that it is Acida, and you will see a lot of these, and they are Swedish. So there you go. Yeah, so this is a Davidson vase with this trinket set. I'll be able to look up the trinket set. I don't know if these go together. They are together here. The colour's the same, so there's a good chance that the trinket set is Davidson as well. This is the Davidson 1940 catalogue I downloaded from 20th Century Glass website. Yeah, I failed spectacularly to find the trinket set. On the trinket sets website, there were several Davidson ones which they didn't have any pictures for, so I suspect it's one of those. I literally went through every English one that was there and couldn't find it. But anyway, as a consolation prize, here is the vase that we were looking at. It is actually also in the 1931 one catalogue, but I think this picture is a bit nicer, and it's pattern number 279, and it comes in different sizes. I think the one we were looking at was the 8-inch one. It was not that big, but not that small. So there we go. And there's a Stuart crystal jug there. That Stratford pattern from 1921, designed by Ludwig Nee. And what else? There's nothing else here I think that's interesting me. I'm looking at the Stuart Crystal 1927 catalogue that I downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Facebook group, and this is the jug that we were looking at. So this is from, as I said, this catalogue is 1927, but I do know that this pattern was registered, I think, in February 1921, and it is a Ludwig Nee pattern called Stratford. I don't think it was named until after the war though, so at that point it's just a 21706. So I hope you enjoyed that trip to the mighty Brackley Antiques Cellar. I keep saying centre, and I've used a few new references this time as well, so the links will be in the description below, and the names and authors of the books will be in the description below, as well as all the contact details for Brackley Antique Cellar. And with that said, please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you. And wait for part 2. Thank you. Bye.